trading as for me has been quite a long journey till I can get to this point that I am, right? It's where I say I am a little bit profitable. I'm not very profitable, but I'm sure comparing with my first days, I'm sure I am a little better than what I used to be, right? I just had this quote today, so it says good decisions come from experience, and experience comes from bad decisions, right? So I just thought that why not share my experiences, my trading experiences, and the things that I started to do in order to become profitable. That's why I made this video today. That's why I made these videos for you, my bros, right? So that your trading journey may be a little bit simpler than mine, because it was quite hard for me. I didn't even have a mentor or anyone who could give me guidance, right? I'm not saying that you should get a mentor, right? But that's why I just want to make this video, so that at least I share some of my experience, so that you don't have to go through some other things, and you control whatever you can, right? So I got about 5 things that I'm going to be sharing with you, right? So the first one that I'm going to be telling you is, guys, you always have to trade with the trade, guys. I learned that one after losing quite a lot of money, right? So what do I mean we have to trade with the trend? As you know, the trend is our friend, guys. The trend is your friend. If you go with the trend, you'll be assured that, of course, you can have losses, but your losses will be a little bit smaller, rather than what for you to trade against the trend, right? So right over here, let me just take this for example. I'm just going to be giving a little bit of examples here and there, so that this video can be a little bit quite interesting, and you know exactly what I mean, and if you know that you have gone through the same things. So if I share some things that you are going through that I haven't mentioned in this video, you can just comment them in the comment section down below, and I will address them if I can, right? If I've been past that, or if I know how you can go around with that, right? So right over here, right? So let's say what I used to do. Here's what I used to do. Yeah. I just used to, let's say there's maybe a resistance somewhere over there, some maybe to the left, right? So maybe there was a consolidation, whatever, right? So I would have marked my zones over there, right? So when the market pulls back over here, right, as you can see right here, the market is currently going in an uptrend, right? Creating a series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, blah blah blah, right? So what I would do over here is, when I see this M sort of like, right, and there's something like a resistance, or when I just see an M, even if there's no resistance over here, if I just see an M, I will just think, maybe I caught this sniper right now. I'll draw my trend lines, blah blah blah, and when there's a retest, I enter, right? And as you can see, the market just consolidated, and I'm wiped out, right? And I think, the market, it was rigged. It was just manipulation, whatever. There's no such thing as manipulation, guys. It's what the market was originally meant to do, right? But we just want to assume that it's manipulation, right? Then I see this, it starts to form so like another ugly M over here, right? And after this breakout over here, right, breakout and retest, I would enter again, right, thinking that maybe now it's going to wake out, and guess what, we just consolidated. So I kept on losing money, guys. I kept on losing money. I didn't even know what to look for, right? So in this situation, what I encourage you to do is to first wait for a break of structure to the downside. As you can see, whenever I was entering, there was no breaking structure, right? So I wasn't trading with the trend, right? I wanted to catch the sniper. There's no it's better for you not to catch a sniper, but not to lose your money, right? It's better not to lose your money than trying to catch a sniper, right? So right over here, right, the first entry, there was no breaking structure to the downside. Second entry, there was no breaking structure to the downside. It was just me thinking to myself, there's a trend line, it's forming an aim, blah blah blah. Just me lying to myself, right? Instead of, if I just waited for the market to break structure, like over here, right? After it breaks structure, right, it pulls back, right, and we'll mark out our order block some over here, right, and I would have had that entry, right? So first wait for breaking market structure for you to enter, right? So this leads us to my second point, which is patience, right? You have to be patient, right? Instead of waiting for a perfect setup, just wanted to enter quickly, right? So if I was just patient enough to wait for the breaking market structure to the downside, and so that I can trade with the trend, I was just hoping that I get a sniper, just take a screenshot, flexing and all that stuff, right? But that doesn't help, guys. You have to trade with the trend, waiting for proper breakouts, right? So I'm proud of you guys that you've been patient enough to watch still this moment in time, right? So it means that you've got a little bit of patience, and if you're patient enough to watch this video, then I'm certain that easily get over the patience issue. And if you are patient with trading, yeah, you'll go very far, because you'll be patient with the strategy that you are learning. You'll be patient until you get it. You'll be patient. Everything always comes back to patience. So if you are patient enough to watch, if you have been patient enough to watch till so far, then I'm very proud of you. I don't want to lie, I am very proud of you, right? So with patience, there's also fear of missing out. You have to avoid fear of missing out. When I started avoiding fear of missing out, right, so that's what, it's also the same thing that I was talking over here, right, where I would fear that maybe if I don't enter now, the market will go without me, right? The market always has pullbacks, right? So you don't have to fear being left out, right? Because there's always going to be a pullback. The market is always trending. Whenever the market is trending, it's continuously creating a series of what? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. So whenever there's a pullback, just know that that's another chance for you to enter, right? So you don't have to fear being left out, because there's always going to be another chance, and there's always going to be tomorrow. So you don't have to fear being left out of that trade, right? Then you have to be patient enough again to learn one strategy at a time, right? So if you're learning zone flips, let's say you're learning zone flips, you have to learn them until you learn all the variations, right? You get the hang of it and you are comfortable trading it, right? And then maybe after you have done that, you move on and maybe advance a little bit. Now you are learning order blocks, right? When you've learned order blocks, you make sure that you understand each and every concept, which order blocks, which types of order blocks work, how do they work. Whenever you see that you have had enough, you are profitable using order blocks, you move on to the next strategy, right? Of course, you have to have a little bit of multiple options with strategies, so that you can confluence, because trading is all about confluence, to make the probability of that trade a little bit higher, right? So if you are patient enough to learn one strategy at a time, you don't have to bombard yourself with many strategies at a time. Maybe you're learning 50 strategies from 50 different people at the same time, right? So learn one thing at a time, and when you get the hang of it, you advance to the next, right? Don't try too many things. Don't experiment too much, right? Of course, experimentation is good here and there, but don't experiment too much that at the cost of your own trading account, right? Now that you're patient, the next thing that I did in order to become profitable is having a trading plan, right? So having a trading plan, to me, it consists of, maybe let's say having targets, right? I have my targets per day. I target this as such amount of money, right? So having targets also depend on the account size. So if you're targeting what, 20% to grow by 10% or 20% of your account by the end of the day or the week or whatever, it all comes down to you, right? So it's always good to have a trading plan, because you are going to avoid comparing yourself with others. Maybe you see that this other guy made $1,000, right? And you want to compete with that guy, and you have got $10 in your account, right? So having a trading plan, make sure that you make a trading plan according to your account size, according to your personality, according to your trading style and everything, taking everything into consideration, rather than just comparing yourself with others, and wanting to make more than them. And that most of the times it makes you lose a lot of money, because maybe you have let's say you have $100 account, right? You have grown it, maybe now it's on 600, and you see that this guy made 1,000, and you want to catch that, you want to also reach 1,000, right? And you have already reached your target. Maybe your target was even $300, right? And the last trade that you take, most of the times you put a large lot size, right? And guess what? The market will sweep you. You go back to break even. If it's even at break even, it's even better, because most of the times you even lose a lot of money. You even go in loss, right? So always have a trading plan, have targets, and avoid comparing yourself with others, right? Then the fourth thing that I did was being able to be in control of my emotions, right? I can't say that I'm completely in control of my emotions, because here and there I also act emotionally, right? Of course, I act emotionally, right? Emotions will always affect us, guys. We have to accept that, right? So let's say I lose $100 right now. Of course, that's going to affect me negatively, right? Of course, I'm going to be a little bit angry, blah blah blah. But that's not supposed to make me want to maybe revenge trade, maybe to try and enter each and every set up each and every pay, right, so that I recover that money. But being in control of your emotions is making sure that you follow your trading plan, you follow your entry strategies. A trading plan also contains this only entries that you take, right? Entries that you are confident with, right? So you have to follow your trading plan in order for you to make profits, right? So be in control of your emotions. Of course, we are bound to become emotional, but don't let your emotions get the better of you. Don't let your emotions take control over you, right? Always think rationally before you make any decisions when you are trading. Then the fifth and the last thing that I'm going to be talking to you guys, I think many of you may differ with this, and many of you may not agree with this, but yeah, it comes down to deposit. I started depositing enough money, enough capital, enough equity, right? Having enough equity, it enables you guys, enables you to have. I'd like to see equity as so like my lives. Let's say it's a game, right? So if you, let's say I deposit what $100, right? I have got multiple lives because I've got multiple chances to enter as long as if I'm using the proper risk to reward ratio, right? I've got many chances to enter. Let's say I'm losing. My trading plan says I have to lose the maximum loss per day is $10 and the maximum profit is about $30, right? Just an example, right? If I lose $10 continuously, maybe for 4 times, right, and I just win 1 time, right? So if you deposit a large amount of money, you've got 10 lives. If you deposit $100 account, rather than just depositing that $10 and the first trade that you take, it sweeps you out and you have already lost. And the market, after that, the market continuously gives you better chances for you to enter, but you already don't have money. It's better to save up until you reach that capital that works best for you. And it also depends. I'm not going to give a specific figure because it also depends. It comes down to your trading style, your emotions. You know how you control emotions. You know yourself. You know which amount of money will be enough for you to be able to trade, right? So having done that, if you are able to be in control of this, I'm sure that you become at least a little bit better. I just wanted to share my experiences, and if you want to learn more about strategies, then I suggest that you watch this video next.